And we should be live in a second. I'm going to give YouTube just a few seconds to catch up with the rest of us. Make sure I've got my sound turned off here. And it looks like we're going. Okay. So thank you so much. We'll get started. Thank you for joining us for our virtual Meet the Candidates night tonight. This is your chance to get to know the people running for a seat on the Library Board of Trustees. This year, the library has one open seat with a term of 5 years up for vote. Two candidates on the ballot this year have been invited to share a brief introduction and statement with us this evening. They are, in the order they appear on the ballot, Sarah Patterson and Annie Scott. The 2022-23 budget vote and Board of Trustees election will be held on Tuesday, May 17th, in conjunction with the school district vote. Additional information about the candidates and an outline of the proposed budget can be found on our website. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome our first candidate, Sarah Patterson.
Hello. I'm going to apologize a little bit for my voice first. My children gave me COVID, so my voice is kind of scratchy. Yeah.
That's so unfortunate. Hope
Right?
you're feeling okay.
Everybody's all right, but of course. So my name is Sarah Patterson. I've lived in Del Mar for about 13 years. I grew up in lower central New York in the town of Corning, which is known for its glass works. It's the Crystal City. I'm a single mom. I have two kids. They are 7 and almost 10. They both go to Ellesmere Elementary here in Del Mar. I am the PTA president at Ellesmere, and I've been filling that role for about 4 years now. In my previous life, I managed Barnes & Noble bookstores. I started first in the Corning area and then later moved here to the Capital District. The last store that I was the store manager of was the store in Saratoga Springs, New York. In that role, in my 15 years at Barnes & Noble, I learned a lot about books. I learned a lot about publishing. I also learned a lot about holding events that would resonate with the community, networking with the community, and just trying to create a space where people wanted to come and hang out and enjoy themselves. More recently, I've been working on both my master's degree and my PhD at SUNY Albany. As a student at SUNY, I was president of the History Graduate Student Organization. I also served on the University Libraries Student Advisory Board when I was there. In December of 2020, I defended my dissertation, finally, entitled Being Careful, Progressive Era Women and the Movements for Better Reproductive Healthcare. And I earned my PhD in history. Yahoo.
Congrats, that's so awesome.
For the last 7 years, I've been teaching at both Siena College and at SUNY Albany as an adjunct professor. This semester, I've been teaching 2 courses at SUNY Albany, and I have about 175 students in those 2 courses. I'm running for the Library Board of Trustees because I love our library. Personally, I love books. I love reading. Nothing makes me happier than getting a new book, whether it's digital or print. So from that perspective, personally, I love that. I also think the library is a critically important community resource. All of the things that the library offers, story times for kids, library of things, museum passes, the seed library, those are amazing benefits to our community. And I want to make sure the library continues to offer programs like that and to continue to grow and thrive in the community. In today's spotlight, actually, there was an article about the library in Bush and that it's having to close. And in the article, it said that Tim Coates, who was the managing director of Waterstones in the UK, which is like their Barnes & Noble, that he did a study over the 8 years leading up to the pandemic, so not including the pandemic. And in that time, library visits were down 31%. And that just made me so sad. And I don't think that that's the case in Bethlehem, but if I was able to get this position on the library board, I would work to ensure that that definitely never becomes the case. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Next, I'd like to introduce Annie Scott.
Hi, Hi, I'm Annie Scott. I'm a 7-year Del Mar resident. I'm also a New Yorker from a similar area. I grew up in Appalachian, New York, which is even less of a claim to fame than Corning. We don't have a peppy one-liner. Most people think I'm incorrectly spelling Appalachian. I'm like, no, I grew up there. I do know how to spell it. But I went to University of Delaware, and then I got my master's degree at Emory University in infectious disease, funnily enough. So I worked for the New York State Department of Health for the past 8 years. And then for the last probably since I had my son in 2020, I've been a consultant strictly from home in public health. I also do some website management and development. And then my husband and I have a rental property in Troy, which is endlessly exciting. But I've been a lifelong lover of books. I'm happiest when I'm learning something new. I'm happiest, honestly, when I'm a student. I'm also thinking about a PhD, but I'm just like putting my toe in the water. Seems like a lot. I also have 2 kids. I have a very new 3-year-old, and then my son will be 2 in October. So they give me a run for my money, but we live in Del Mar. We have chickens, we have dogs, and we love the library. It's one of our favorite things to do. Like, my daughter knows exactly where all of the good dog books, as she calls them, the Clifford books are, and loves to be able to check them out on her own in the self-service section, and loves to pick out chapter books for me, which are really weird sports books that I don't know where she finds, and I have to pretend like I'm interested in, but I usually pass them to my husband because I don't want to, shutter her enthusiasm. But I just think the library is such a great resource, and it's been a place that has always felt like home to me, no matter where I am, if I'm, in my town, on my campus. And I hope it continues to be a place of welcoming and learning for generations to come. And I think Bethlehem does such a great job of harkening back to what a library is supposed to be, a community hub, but also staying current and providing adaptive services like the pickup and, the library of things and the museum passes, things that a family or an individual in the community might need. And I think if I were to have the honor to get this position, I would just make sure that we give our residents as much of an opportunity to let us know what they're looking for and if we're meeting those needs as we can. I'm sure you guys already do, but needs assessment, being a public health person, that's kind of like my nerd jam. That's what I like to do. But I just think, especially now when everything is so contentious and everything, even facts, are up for grabs, it's just so important that the library is a steadfast kind of beacon where people can go and do their research and feel well informed and feel like they have the tools that they need to succeed, both personally and professionally. So I just would love to do anything that I could to continue to help the library serve that purpose for our community, because I think it already does a great job. But I don't have anything else. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much. I won't keep you. I appreciate this. Thank you again for joining us. The recording of this live broadcast will remain on the library's YouTube channel and website. We'll push it out on Facebook to make sure that everybody, we can, cast you guys to the widest possible audience, and so people can get to know you a little bit better. I really, really sincerely appreciate you both running for library board and then taking the time to come be with us tonight and to give the opportunity for the folks just to get a chance to meet you. I know it's been a pleasure to meet both of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.